This video will be on toxicology. It would be the introduction. I'm just going to talk about the basic introduction, the what kind of study is it, the basics as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail. That would be for another time. And now we all know that toxicology is basically this multidisciplinary science that studies the adverse effects of chemicals on biological systems, aka like poisons on the body, pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, all sorts of things that poison ecological systems, etc. And there are many areas in this. There's toxic metals that people are familiar with: lead, mercury, and arsenic. Lead looks like this. And then mercury is Hg. And I'll just write out arsenic. Arsenic is by far the most important of metal poisons, and these are all exposed in industrial locations such as factories and such. And that's where the occupational toxicologist comes in, and they investigate the workplace in order to prevent poisons and such. And then you have analytical toxicology, the study identification of toxicants, and then you have biomedical, and how they call it human disease. Forensic is the medical examiner, and deaths caused by poison. And then you have environmental ones, and it goes to fish and aquatics. They produce their own natural poison, and wildlife can produce its own poison in ecological population. And you have molecular toxicology, where on the molecular level, how poison gets in and is through the cells. And then you get regulatory toxicology. It's public health and regulates the handling of industrial manufacturers. And then you have a part of it is pesticides. It's poisons that kill pests, as you know. And then herbicide, poison that kills certain plants. And fungicide is killing fungi. And these metals are used in factories, the poison metals, and they can inhibit enzymes in the body. Enzymes are needed for processes as a catalyst in the body. And then it disrupts cellular processes as well, so it'll disrupt your whole homeostasis in your body. And it is known to take physiology, ecology, and chemistry mainly in this field of study. Arsenic is the main one that we will really be talking about, and it's known for neurotoxicity, which means that it goes through the nervous system, which is very lethal. And it can cause liver injury, it can cause skin cancer, all sorts of problems that you deal with through arsenic. So arsenic is a lot of issues. And then mercury is another one to talk about, which would be it's also neurotoxicity and gastrointestinal damage as well as in the intestines and stuff. There's kidney toxicity as well. And for public health, the most important is arsenic. So the one we really like is arsenic. And then there's also you also find some in groundwater in many regions, and it goes into the drinking water, and it can cause cancer. So it's in the drinking water, which is really nasty. You get new solvent derivatives of petroleum and oil in industries, as with the changing of chemistry and synthetics, and they were created to assist in industrial work and make it more efficient. And then methylene chloride is the one that we investigate more typically. Methylene chloride. And we like that one specifically. But it can defeat the central nervous system, which is very bad. And then if you inhale it, that's how you acquire such poison, through inhalation, and that's just like smelling it. And it can cause dermatitis. And it's similar to the effects of consumption of alcohol. So it's like if you just drank a lot of alcohol, it's a depressant. And then we all know we have gas, and a gas would be carbon monoxide, which is CO, and it's used from the combustion in automobiles and in households as well. And it results in the loss of oxygen in the blood, which means less capacity to bring oxygen throughout the system, which means it's basically like you smoked or something as well. So it's like if you just smoked a cigarette, and then you get like physiological uh, abnormalities can develop, like personality changes randomly, and it really leads to a coma and to death. Coma and death. And then the last one I really want to talk about in this part one is cyanide, and it's known to inhibit cellular respiration, which is, the process of converting stuff into energy in order for the body to have energy. And this is rapidly fatal. It spreads very fast, and there's not enough time to diagnose it. So unfortunately, if you get poisoned by it, you would have to know somehow and act very rapidly. Otherwise, you will die very, very quickly. And that's basically what I wanted to talk about with toxicology. It's an interesting subject to study poisons. And there are natural poisons, there are drugs, there's chemical poisons in industries. And toxicology is just an interesting field as well. And it's mostly used in the forensic field, which is why it's very enjoyable. Um, and later on, I will talk about the other types of poisons that we have. If you have any questions, just ask.